stream. Let's refresh my Twitch and change my audio output so it doesn't come out of my speakers.
Refresh.
Refrescos.
It sounds like a good name for like a soda, like a brand of soda.
Refresh.
Refresca.
Oh, mine's okay. Mine's live. So I think
I'm trademarking that. All right. All rights reserved.
All right, mine's live as well.
Mine's live as well. Which likes me too.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I guess
on. It's on.
What's on, Huey?
What's on? Donkey Kong is on. But cool, we're live. So I guess we'll wait a minute or two for people, or because usually a lot of people don't join until they get the notification. Clack is live. And then
That's
usually
probably true.
Within like
Well,
2 or 3
I'm seeing
minutes.
that my friend Clack is watching.
I am Clack and I am watching.
We're all top.
Actually, we're all Clack because all of you guys have the info.
True.
It's just I always just say logged in as Clack because I have no reason usually to sign out.
People are just getting like the pre-show banter right now.
Should consider a 5-minute countdown or something. Yeah, maybe we could. I could just
That's a good
stream a
idea.
countdown so people can get it. A live thing in the future. That'd probably be useful. I mean,
That's a good idea. Yeah.
this is Clack. We were very slow to adopt any change. We still need to.
Yeah.
I still
Really
need to work
slow.
on the new interface for us actually, so people can browse docs while I'm browsing it, like the news articles, instead of just seeing us talk about it. I still need to resize all the windows so there's less, blank space in the normal overlays. There's a lot of things. I got to resize the chat properly, and the squares, because none of us are actually this skinny, unfortunately.
No, we'd be like this. It shaves off like at least 15 pounds.
Right.
How did it get so personal so suddenly?
It's never personal when I'm involved because I just don't care.
Okay. I guess it's
Let's start.
good time to roll the intro, and the
Yeah.
intro is rolling right now. Hello. Whose turn is it to do the intro?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Top Clack, a weekly podcast series that we do live, where we talk about anything and everything mechanical keyboards. And I am joined by my 2 co-hosts, Man of Interest and Apolitary, as usual. Today we have Sean, aka Fendent, a up-and-coming artisan in the community. Could you please tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're all about here in our awesome community?
Well, I was invited by Apolitary to come on the show. I make keycaps. I like making my own everything. And yeah, I've just been doing this over the past year and pretty excited to come on. Yeah.
How did you get into keycap making?
I think I saw... I don't know. I'm one of those people that when I get into something, I don't really like buying other people's things, and I like to make my own. Plus, I saw how expensive all these artisan keycaps that I really liked were, and I decided I need something else to pour my money into, another hole in the ground to pour my money into. So not just keyboards, but like all the materials and stuff to make keycaps. And then I saw Nubbinator's thread when I was looking around, and it just clicked from there, and I started making them. And I actually took a break for a good 6 months, and then I came back to it, and then really started getting into it, and took about a year before or a little less than a year before my first sale. So, yeah. It's fun.
Okay.
For how long have you been in this hobby?
I'd say, well, I bought my first about 2 years ago. I got a Quickfire Rapid because like everybody at my work had a mech of some sort, and my boss recommended I get a QFR, and so I got that. And then about 6 months later, me and a coworker decided we were going to do like an office group buy, make our own boards. And that's actually the board that I use on my keyboard right now. Still, it's just a Phantom with stainless steel plates, and we got those cut and did that all for us, and then that's sort of when I realized customs and stuff like that. I actually made this completely unaware that there was a whole other like bracket of like expensive customs, and that's when I suddenly got into it. Then I got a HHKB, and then that was about it.
It's all downhill from there.
It was just getting better versions of an HHKB, the BT, and then purple sliders, and then etc.
Oh god, you really went down the rabbit hole then. So you said you couldn't really find the artisans that you wanted for the price that you wanted, but then you decided to pour all that money into making keycaps. So really, you didn't save a whole lot. But
it's not about saving. Yeah.
I mean, in the long run, maybe.
Sure.
I know artisan supplies don't tend to be cheap. So, but obviously, the newer you are, usually the higher your failure rate is. So you wind up wasting some of that product, even.
Yeah, and it's never really been like about the amount of money that I spent. I really enjoyed the process of doing it and the time and stuff like that. Yeah, like making the money back is good and all, but like I said, I went about a year before I did anything, and I wasn't as interested in the money and stuff like that. I just really enjoy it as just like putting together kits and boards and modding switches. It's kind of just another parallel thing to all that for me.
Okay. So recently you did the Murray sale, is that what you're calling it?
Yeah, Murray, yeah.
So that came out pretty well. How did that sale go for you overall?
I was thoroughly in, like, more than I pretty much expected that to go. I was blown away by the community's turnout on that and just the response. It's been pretty awesome. And I've had a lot of support along the way from different artisans who have given me a lot of advice and just support, and it's been a really cool experience. Yeah.
How did you end up joining the Key Collective?
So I think Carlitos got me invited.
Joining the what?
There is a Key Collective chat.
Okay.
Where you can get first-hand experience on artisan casting or shitposting. That's like also.
You can get first-hand lessons on shitposting everywhere in the community these days.
Yeah, just about everywhere.
But we won't get into that. Awesome. So encapsulation is obviously featured in your first cap. Is that your favorite kind of method, or do you actually prefer more of a sculpt for your artists?
Yeah, so I don't consider myself that great at sculpting. It's something that I'm improving upon. Murray is actually a detail of a larger sculpt that I did. I was just trying to learn how I'm building up and kind of getting better at my sculpting skills, and I had just done this skull that I had really liked, and it was just a full-size skull. And I was like, it'd be interesting if I could put this inside of a keycap, and then it turned out really well, and the process I nailed it down so I could make more of them, and it just kind of went from there. It's kind of a happy accident.
Happenstance? Happy hacking happenstance.
A happy hacking accident. There we go.
I for one really enjoy the encapsulation, especially by people like Key Collective, because it's essentially a blank cap, but you still get the design. So when you're using it, and Kudos mentioned this in the past, like when you're using it, it feels like a normal keycap, so it doesn't actually interrupt. It doesn't interrupt your flow when you're typing. Not like when you go to hit your escape key and it's got like a nail sticking out of it or whatever artisan people like these days.
Yeah, I have a very high bar for functionality for artisans. I love all the stuff that people put out and everything, but I still in the end kind of go back to stuff that is highly functional. I'm a developer by trade, like I'm a software engineer, and if I can't put it on my board, like my HHKB, and be able to type like accurately, and I can't keep it on my board. I can look at it, put it on my switch tester next to my desk, but I really like collecting and using caps that I can actually use. So yeah, that's why I do like encapsulation blanks and stuff like that.
Okay. What kind of upcoming work do you have that you can potentially tell us about?
Well, there's going to be an MX version of Murray. That's really what I'm kind of setting my sights on right now. I know there was a lot of demand for that since the first sale was just Topra. And then after that, I'm not particularly sure, but we'll see.
Are you still planning on doing say casting demo at KeyCon, or KeyCon
Yes.
already happened?
No. So KeyCon is in Philadelphia, June 24th. There's going to be a lot of artisans there too. I'll be doing a casting demo. So I'm going to be hauling all of my equipment over to Philadelphia. Well,
all the pressure pots and vacuum stuff. And,
Oh yeah. Yep.
Oh. That's a lot.
I'll be hauling all that because I'm driving there. There's going to be a bunch of people from the Midwest who are going to be. We're going to be caravanning all the way to Pennsylvania.
Nice.
So I'll be bringing that there and doing that. And, it should be fun. June 24th, people should come. It'll be a lot of fun.
If it's in Philly, that means Binge will probably be there too. If I'm
He
not
will
mistaken.
definitely be there.
Yeah.
I won't speak for anybody else, but there's certainly, quite a number of artisans are going to be there. In fact, so
Yeah, I really wish I could go. People keep asking me. I'm actually from Philly,
do it.
and I was like, oh, I really want to go out there, but man, that trip costs so much money. So much money.
How many keyboards?
Yeah. I lived in West Philly for a long time, so like it's kind of nice being out there. It's really over at Villanova, but we're gonna make our way into Philly after the event.
There's some cool things in Philly. There's a lot of good eats out there too, actually.
Oh yeah. I do miss that. One of my main stops is gonna be going to a Wawa. So
Oh man, Wawa! I was in Philly
Not a sheets.
about 6 months ago, or maybe a little
Sheets.
bit more now.
Wawa sheets.
I only
Wawa
recently learned about this
It's
rivalry,
really
actually.
crazy. Well, I grew up in Philly, and Wawa has changed pretty significantly in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
let's try to get back on topic though.
But gas stations.
A Wawa is more than a gas station. It's a way of life.
Well, one of these
Yeah,
days, if I
yeah.
ever go, I'll find out.
Yeah, I mean it's only an East Coast thing, I think.
I think so. So KeyCon, July 20...
June 24th.
June 24th.
Yeah, people will be kind of coming into town on June 23rd and kind of filing out on the 25th. So 24th is the main event. It's going to be at Villanova. And yeah, we'll basically be there most of the day, I think. There should be some stuff. I think Rocket Grunt and Jake, yet another keycap maker. Or just another keycap maker. He's going to be putting on some like little contests, I guess, like the keyboarding Olympics. So stuff like, taking off and putting back on a full key set and timing it and that kind of
Nice.
stuff.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, that'd be really
That's
cool.
neat.
Like blind identifying switches, that kind of thing. So,
Oh yeah, we actually did that the last Seattle meetup. That was a lot of fun.
At my,
yeah, I think someone from the Seattle meetup was the one who suggested that. But yeah.
Yeah.
I'll actually probably be at the Seattle meetup too. So.
Oh really? That's awesome.
Well, that'd be exciting.
Where are you located right now? What state?
I'm in Milwaukee right now.
Okay, so you'll be trekking to Philly and then coming to Seattle the next month. That's
Well, Rama's
gonna
going
be
to be there. I think Binge is also going to be there. Be a few
Yep.
people.
Yep. Vector will not be there.
If I manage to buy a ticket,
We'll
which is
just-
probably not happening.
We'll just have to do our possible live panel without you, unfortunately.
Uh,
So yeah, I was very sad.
you can print out a photo of me and place it on a
I will
pillow.
get a. If you don't come, I'll get
You
a
should do
cardboard cutout of you, Vector. We'll get a cardboard
We
cutout.
should. No, what we should do
No.
is we should find
A
we should
Dakamura
find
of
someone-
Vector.
We
A
should
Vector
find.
body pillow.
Yeah, we should find someone that looks like relatively like.
I'm Asian. It's not that hard.
Well, yeah, especially
That's
in
right.
Seattle. Huge Asian population in Seattle, which makes for a lot of good food out there too. But I love food.
Food.
And we just gotta find someone with Vector's like body shape, and then we just print out a Vector mask and make him wear that. And then they don't even need to say anything; they'll just like sit there and like.
You just need to laugh and say, "Oh, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for my mail. I might get mail today, guys."
Yeah, and also like whenever we bring anything up, he's gotta say that's poopy.
And that's basically Top Clack.
Someone make me a Vector soundboard, please.
Talk about telepresence.
Oh man. Actually, that could be arranged. There are telepresence spots at the
No,
Living
but
Computer
for real.
We have telepresence spots there, so that might actually be a thing.
What?
We'll have to look more into
I'm
that.
interested. That's what I do for research. I mean, that's. Alright.
We'll look forward to that.
Yeah. Just keep me in the loop.
Okay.
The loop.
Anyway.
the loop. You will be in it, Vector.
Yeah, straight in that loop. Anyways, back to keyboards for once. We actually have a lot of news to get to today and some really, really cool stuff, just like last week. So, yeah, let's start off with that.
Let's start off at the top. This week, teased a few days ago by our friend Dave at mechkeys.ca. If you're in Canada, you should definitely check out their shop. He teased the new Mechmini 2. We did talk about the Mechmini original one, released a little bit ago. This Mechmini 2, though, man, it looks pretty good. Nice aluminum case with high profile. There's two plates. You can either have a staggered layout or an ortholinear layout.
And you get both, as far as I know. If you order this, you get both of them. So you don't actually have to pick and choose. You can have both, build both, swap them back and forth if you want. Really, really cool stuff.
Yep, high profile aluminum case, RGB underglow, which is awesome. It's going to be a QMK instead of PS2 AVR, which I actually complained about in the posts because I don't program. I'm just not that kind of guy. And he did say he's looking into solutions for people like me who would prefer PS2 AVR because I don't tap dance or do any of the fancy things or the macros. So I just need to make sure I have my things where I want them to be. That's simple. Which PS2 AVR RGB for most people accomplishes. So I'm really excited, see how it comes out. The render looks beautiful, in my opinion, though. For the
Yeah,
case.
I tried to get some more pictures of this because I know he has some, but I wasn't able to get them in time for the show, unfortunately. But definitely keep your eye out on this. This is pretty cool. The case looks pretty nice. He doesn't specify any kind of price or ETA yet. He's hoping to keep it as close to 200 CAD as possible, which is, like $14 US or whatever. I'm kidding. I actually don't know what the Canadian dollar is.
It's called the Canadian peso affectionately for a reason. So I mean,
I know the Canadian dollars.
Not great is all I know.
Yeah. Anyways,
that's
does look really cool.
that's coming out in the future soon, TM. Because we have no date yet. So
he showed me the renders for this like a month ago before he had teased it, and he showed me a bunch of different renders, and I was like, oh my god, this looks like something that was designed by Rama.
it's really nice, right? It's great.
It's really Rama-esque. Once we get the other angles on it, you'll see a little bit better. This picture doesn't really do it justice, in my opinion, but it's very neat. It's very neat. I'm hoping we can hit a good price point on this one.
So am I. So the next
Who's Cartel, by the way?
I think that's a joke.
Okay.
Because on Discord he goes by Pablo Mechscabar. So he has like his keyboard cartel in Canada.
Okay.
That's the joke. B-dubs.
Keyboards are drugs.
Yeah, so the next topic I really, really love. So as a big Star Trek fan, I loved Galaxy Class DSA when it came out. And I'm so happy to say that there's a new interest check for another run of Galaxy Class, but it's being officially licensed by Roddenberry Entertainment, meaning it's going to be like the official Star Trek keycap set in the community.
That's pretty cool.
So,
Norbauer made the Galaxy Class in the first place?
Yeah. So for like the scroll lock print screen, they're gonna have the new symbols. They're trying to decide with the intersect what they should be. Like should it just be Enterprise D? What should some of the new keys should be? But it's being licensed officially. I think that's really cool for the community.
That is cool because Roddenberry Entertainment, they don't tend to. I don't know. They're pretty, handsy about their properties.
Selective.
In terms of,
they're very selective.
Yeah, like the ACARS interface and stuff like that. Anybody puts that on anything, they shut it down.
No, they're allowing them to use. I think they might change up some more things so it's closer to the LCARS.
That's cool.
Oh man.
That's
so excited.
Did they
this.
solicit them, or did
I don't know. It's not really said in the intercheck how this merger happened, but I'm really excited. And the next render, they've added Starfleet and the United Federation of Planets insignia as well, which pretty nice. I know some people when it first ran didn't like that gray spacebar, so maybe there'll be another spacebar pack included with the stock set. I don't know how they're gonna be running it, but I hope it's soon. I'll probably pick one up.
They should get it in GMK.
Oh man,
like everybody else.
But this is just way too many colors.
No, for GMK, like that numpad would be like $80.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because of the design.
Per key.
It's a new mold per key. No, the colors are actually a bit more. Actually, yeah. There's a picture of one. I liked how the colors turned out, but it is really sci-fi and Star Trek inspired.
Pretty extreme.
I do kind of regret selling mine.
Yeah, the blue kind of reminds me of like the Topra Brute Force blue. I like that. Yeah.
Is that Dyesub?
Yes, it was Dyesub.
Oh yeah. I think it would have to be.
Yeah, it's Dyesub'd.
So it's by Signature Plastic and Zever doing Dyesubbing all the time. I didn't know that they were doing Dyesubbing for that long.
Yeah. They've done a lot of Dyesub DSA in the past as well. Most people don't get them as often just because ABS is much more colorful usually. Just because you can have all the different colored legends to your heart's desire. So if you're a Star Trek fan like me, keep your eye out for the Galaxy Class. There's a quick survey if you're interested, so fill out. The more input that Norbauer gets from the community, I'm sure hopefully the better the set will turn out being. Moving on, the next point of news. Another very, very small form factor keyboard is the case. It's a group buy starting for the NL Bullet case, which is aluminum high profile casing for the Planck keyboard.
Another Planck case.
Yes, it's $100 without PayPal fees or shipping. You can get a stainless steel black plate for $7 more, a brass plate for $15 more, and you can add a PCB for $36. There's a lot of anodization choices. So if you have a Planck and you want to, upgrade past that case, or you just don't like the low profile case like a lot of people shouldn't, this is a great option.
Yeah, I actually really like this. The price seems on point for that $100, not including fees and shipping. You get the case, a brush plate, the feet, and the hardware.
I think there's one key thing that needs to be addressed. Well, at least he said, which is in bold, which is this case is not compatible with your current Planck plate. So you have a Planck, you can't just swap your internals over. You're gonna have to desolder to get your PCB and use their new plates. Is the issue for some people who might want to upgrade. But if you're looking to do a new build, for $100, you can get $100, $136 for the PCB, $136 plus $15 if you want a nice brass one, and then suddenly that's $151, then plus PayPal's and shipping, it is kind of, and then you've had switches and it does add up. But
Yeah.
it's a nice option.
I might actually get this. This might be my first ortholinear keyboard.
I already went on the XT40 for my I miss a Planck.
This case is like right up my alley. It's simple, it's clean, it's high profile, it's metal. The white version he has right here with the HaaTa DSA looks absolutely incredible. That picture really sells me on this. And he does mention that that version was actually powder coated, I think, because the white anodization is actually more of a light silver white.
Mm-hmm.
You can't.
He addresses that.
Yeah. You technically can't anodize white. It's like a really light silver or powder coat.
He does address that in the post. So there theoretically should be a powder coat white version, and if there is, that's probably the one I'll be going for.
It looks really nice, the ones in that picture. I'm not big on ortholinear or planks or anything.
I'm not either,
but it looks nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with the HaaTa. Yeah.
But yeah, so the group buy is open now. It ends June 5th. Your payment deadline is June 11th, and the production is estimated between 10 and 14 weeks, which is pretty standard for a lot of customs. Not many go faster than that, to be honest.
Yeah, that's pretty par for the course.
Other than that, there's an order form at the bottom. Not too bad.
I wish he had what shipping costs would be like.
Maybe on the form it'll tell you.
It almost, when I don't see that kind of information, it almost worries me that it's going to be a lot.
It's coming from Indonesia, so
that's why I'm a little worried.
Yeah, it's like $100.
But I mean, it's a Planck. It's not like you got a mirror,
Yes, it's
right?
not big, obviously, but
So like $80.
I don't want to pay like $100. I'd get a PCB with this too, obviously. So I don't want to pay like $136 plus like $70 shipping or something really astronomical like that.
Yeah. But for a lot of people, if you guys are interested, go check it out. What else do we have on the dock? Another group buy. This one is done by Mechmini.com. It's for Kailh speed switches. Yeah, it's pretty simple. It's just a group buy. 75 pack for $22.99 or 30.6 cents each, or 150 pack for $43.99 or 29.3 cents a switch.
That's a pretty good price.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty fair price. This is as long as you don't mind waiting the little bit. They're expected to arrive.
Wait, is it with or without shipping?
That is with international shipping is between $8 and $10. I ordered this from Mechmini. I can check my shipping for US if you guys like.
Oh no, it says international shipping available. Prices for under 120 switches should be between $8 and $10 with a padded mailer. So it's not that much of a good price for me. It might be because it's an extra $10 on top.
But I mean, for a lot of people who don't mind waiting, it's coming in next. It'll be in 2 weeks at Mechmini, and then Mechmini will be shipping all of them out. They're fair prices if you're in the US who don't mind waiting. I don't mind waiting because I'm getting all these for builds that I won't be getting cases for months.
Yeah. I actually did do a little bit of research on other Kailh switch vendors and pricing, and there are other options. Not saying you shouldn't support this group, obviously, but that's up to you. But if you wanted to get Kailh switches right now, you don't want to wait for them. There is an option. I actually ordered from this site a few days ago, and I should be getting the switches today. Actually, I might get a package on stream.
Wow, it'd be like Vector.
Yeah, just call me call me Vector today. Yeah. So I did order from this site, and the switches are a little less than 2 cents a switch more expensive than the Mechmini's group buy, but the benefit is you get them much sooner because he has them in stock.
Yeah.
And also, you don't have to choose between 75 or 150. You can get exactly how many you want, which was one of the big draws for me because 75 is a little too much. I don't need 75 because I almost always do 60%. So all I needed was like 60. So I actually saved money this way instead of getting more switches than I needed. So there's an option, but if you want to wait for the next run on Massdrop, which doesn't have a start date as of right now, but the price on Massdrop is actually the best.
Yes.
I think I paid $31.75 for a pack of 120. So
That's really good.
much closer to 25 cents a switch as opposed to 30 to 35 cents a switch like everywhere else. So if you're looking for the best price, definitely keep your eye out Massdrop if you don't mind waiting. If you want them now, check out the Flash Pork. And,
which is, I guess, our next news topic.
That's just
Oh, great! It was a segue. Great segue. Yeah. So Flash Quark.
That was literally that's all I wanted to talk about.
Okay, well, it's available at Flash
That's why I
Quark,
put it
like
after-
Brian said.
after.
You guys should check out Flash Quark if you guys haven't. Though they have some other RAMs things. They're doing group buy for. Well, they did do group buys in the past for like AMJ 40 and 96, and they do have like the AN keyboard and some other random stuff. Didn't they open up recently?
They're very, very new, yeah.
Never
I haven't got my switches yet today, but so far it's been a pretty pleasant experience. I think I ordered the switches like 4, maybe 5 days ago. It took 1 day to process, and then it shipped out like the next day, basically. So, very reasonable, and hopefully my switches actually come today and it's not like a bag of rocks.
Cuckoo.
Because I'm not at all familiar with the guy that's running the store, and the store is very, very new. So I was a little worried, but shaping up to be pretty good.
That's good. So the next whoop we have from Massdrop. They're running another Red Scarf finally. I know a lot of people really liked when Massdrop was running the other Red Scarf 78 and 68 keyboards and 96 keyboards on Massdrop. Now they're doing slightly different. It's still called the same. It's the Red Scarf 2 Plus. This is gonna be version D. This is the it's a shorter 96 key. It's taking out the F row.
It's a 96 key without the F row.
Which how many keys? 77.
Or it's
77
or
key.
it's a 60. Okay, yeah. Or it's a 60% with a numpad.
I'm actually a bit always confused, like why this layout isn't more popular than the 96 key. Because I don't like the 96 key personally. Because you still have the numpad functionality. That I don't think you gain that much by having that extra row above.
No, probably not.
But it's available. It's a shame that it's only the acrylic case. But acrylic case does look and sound pretty nice. I'd have a review on the Red Scarf 68 where I had the acrylic case as well. So it does look nice. It's just unfortunately it's low profile.
Yep.
A lot of switch options. I think the feet, you can get brass feet.
The brass feet actually look pretty cool.
Man, I wish I had brass feet. It's like a normal aluminum feet on my techs.
I worry they're a bit too tall, but I'm not really sure. They look taller than the normal.
Yeah,
aluminum
they
ones.
look like they have like one extra little stack on them.
What's that?
Feet like these?
Hmm?
I have Red Scarf feet from a Red Scarf that I never got.
Similar. It just looks. These ones look taller.
These look much taller. Yeah.
Because it looks like.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they give the actual angle.
They don't give the angle, unfortunately.
But if you look in comparison to the USB port, it gives you kind of
You get a little reference.
Yeah, I guess it's much taller. This one kind of looks like a nipple.
Well, now that we've talked about this keyboard Massdrop, you guys notice the key set that this keyboard has. That key set is also on Massdrop, and it's pretty cheap. It's a Japanese alphabet cherry PBT Dyesub keycap set on Massdrop for $37 for the 104 key.
That's...
So
Does this have the sushi keys?
it's not the one with the
No,
keys.
no.
But it has the colored Windows 95 keys, which I think are even better, because everyone loves the mid 90s.
It does look cool, but
those are great.
Oh yeah,
I don't like
nice.
that it's standard layout only.
Yeah, that's the only bummer.
That's a bummer, but the price is pretty reasonable. So.
KBD fans also sells the set, but theirs is actually more expensive. But those will ship immediately. This will come July 26th, which isn't too far out compared to most Massdrop keyboard products.
Well, to be fair, the one that KBD fans offers on AliExpress, I'll actually link that right.
But will it ship in July?
that's...
Yeah, so the one on KBD fans is, it says estimated delivery time 19 to 39 days, which pretty much everything on AliExpress says that, keyboard related. So, I mean, it's not like you're going to get it instantly, but you'll probably still get it.
For a lot of people, I think that'd be a great option. I mean, it looks cool. It's cherry profile, Dyesub PBT.
If you take into account shipping, which there is on Massdrop and is not on
Right.
AliExpress,
Shipping.
the difference in price is about $7. So, if you're really trying to squeeze every penny out and you don't want to pay the extra $7, then Massdrop is obviously the choice for you. Otherwise, grab it on AliExpress maybe.
So,
So,
more...
I thought you meant a different set because I got the Enjoy PBT Japanese Dyesub.
Oh, no.
No, this is different.
Yeah,
This is different.
it's...
Okay.
Oh, no,
I posted the wrong set in the chat. All right,
it's alright.
never mind.
Yeah, that's a different set.
Just ignore Vector.
Also on Massdrop, some really exciting news for a lot of people. So, to our chagrin, SA sets have been very, very popular and very, very poppin' lately. You know, they look great. They aren't great to use, most people say, but a lot of people have been looking forward to SA Carbon, which has officially has their own page on Massdrop now, letting us know that it will be coming May 31st at 6 a.m. Pacific time. Yeah, it's SA Carbon. I don't know what else to say. It ran SA originally, and then went GMK. Sorry, and now it's back home in SA. What do you guys think? Are you guys gonna? Yay, nay? What dost thou say?
I'm not gonna get
SA.
it. I like it. I think SA Carbon looks really nice. I don't want to get it though because I'm not.
I'll enjoy the nice pictures that come out. That's how.
I'm the same.
Exactly.
I'll enjoy it.
That's a very good way to do it.
I'll enjoy the other people looking at their set. If I was that guy who posted who had those shelves with the glass with the lights on every keyboard, I would get SA sets for that shelf. That's
For sure.
That's where you put nice GMK, nice SA sets. But if it's on my desk under my fingers, sorry SA.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a couple of nice SA sets that have come out. I think, was it the SA Penumbra and the SA
Hyperfuse.
Hyperfuse, yeah. Just
Yeah, they all SA always looks great. It's just tough to type on. It just doesn't sound that good sometimes either, depending on your keyboard, because how much empty space is inside, despite their thick walls. So, but I know a lot of people have been really looking forward.
It's a very popular colorway. I remember a couple years ago, if you go on like Mech Market and you were to look for this set, if you can even find it, it'd be like $600-$700.
I sold.
It was like one of the most expensive.
I
sets
sold a
I've seen.
broken set because mine was in a car accident with me. And I sold a broken set with like broken stems and broken keys for over $200.
What?
Like after my crash, people PM'd me like, "Hey, can I buy this set? I'll fix that stem." And I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" I don't.
I saw the pictures of the crash site. They're strewn all over the street. Can I got like $300.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Oh, I had a lot of kits though, so I gave them a ton of kits.
I think that was even in the email that got sent out too. Was like noting the secondary market price and that how it still goes for.
I saw that, which I thought was a really bold move by Massdrop. It's really weird to bring that up, honestly.
Yeah.
But
for them too, especially. So,
well, like implying that hey, it's a good investment.
So I like how of course they don't put any date at all or a price because we know the price is probably going to be rest of SA Massdrop pricing, but the date
it's going to be on par.
It's going to be 2018 date for sure. I know that because remember Brian Vector last week we talked about SA Ocean Dolch and they said they're shipping 2018. They met MOQ actually.
Oh.
Even saying, we're not going to ship out this SA set until 2018. Mid 2018, like between Q2 and Q3 2018. They'll ship out that set, and they met MOQ already. So
I feel like
the hype train is so real for SA. Like I don't think we can even grasp how crazy. Because what?
Someone someone told me this is totally a rumor. Obviously, probably it's not. It's probably not even true. But someone told me that the Carbon SA already had a slot in the production line.
I would believe it.
I would believe it, but the fact that it's running through Massdrop and they sell the kits individually and like they don't actually sell them after the drop, like another vendor might, makes me kind of question that.
They are doing the wrong way. They should produce Carbon SA undercover and sell it on Mac Market for triple the price. Just.
If only it was that easy. But I mean, how you couldn't sell that many to make it worth it.
Or like suddenly there is a guy on Mac Market that shows up and says, "Hey, I just found a warehouse full of SA Carbon."
It's like that guy who sold. It's like those guys. Yeah, it's like the guy who commissioned those Penumbra caps. Some of you guys saw that sale.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, that was a shit show.
What a shit show! Yeah. Oh man, the account for flipping the Carbons is just going to be like Godbo's Closet or something.
Yeah, seriously.
It's closet.
No, who knows? Last time Yanbo had a closet sale, like a ton of people didn't get anything because he apparently doesn't know what's in his own closet.
I heard that. That was really unfortunate.
So
yeah. Actually, I was talking to one user that got screwed over by that, and like he had gotten some SA set. He had gotten like several kits for some SA set, and they had all of it except for like the base kit, and so they still shipped him all the other kits except for the base kit. And I was like, that's such a bummer because like you can't use the SA set that you had intended to get.
Yep.
And he's like, I would have just not gotten anything. Like, yeah, that's a bummer, dude. It's a bummer. And he was like international too, so like you couldn't really like ship it back without it being like really expensive. It's like, man, that's really unfortunate.
That was definitely a bump in his road. But speaking of bumps, they're on switches, and Brian, you can give us a update on the bump about HaaTa's new switches.
Good segue. All right. Yeah. So I after the last episode, I actually decided to sit down for a few minutes with HaaTa. Virtually, of course, because I'm not in that area. But I wanted to question a little bit, and he was more than happy to oblige, gave me some really detailed answers. So I asked things that I was pretty interested in about the switches, and hopefully you guys will too. So I'll just I'll paraphrase a bit because some of his answers were pretty long. So my first question I asked him was, do both switches use the same stem? He said, yes, they do. So the spring is the driving force of the difference. The stem and the housing is exactly the same. So we're gonna hopefully have two pretty distinct feels using just the spring alone as a variable.
I think based on the information, a lot of people are gonna make ergo halos now, lighter than the stock halos. I think it's
but here's the thing though: the spring for the Halo True, that like pretty hefty, 50 gram actuation, 100 gram bottom out, is supposedly what makes the switch feel Topra inspired. So if you take that out and you put in, your favorite 62 grams spring or whatever, it's probably not going to have that same effect. So that's going to be something to keep in mind. Also, think about it this way.
Actually, based off that information, I'm saying that. So I don't know if you guys remember, like 4 to 6 years ago, when ergo clears were first really being big and hitting the market, a lot of issues people had with early ergo clears was the springs they put inside weren't strong enough to have the stem go up, overcome its own bump. So I feel like if people try to do that with halos,
actually that's a question I did essentially ask him. So we'll get to that in a second.
Wonderful.
So yeah, don't worry, your boy's got it covered.
Yeah.
So yeah. So another thing to note that it kind of dawned on me too is like when you buy switches like Gatorons or Cherry or whatever, their switches are not really designed for a target. Like the springs they use aren't designed for like necessarily a target feel. It's more just like, let's put it in a comfortable weight range so more people can access it, which is fair. But the switches that HaaTa made, the Halo switches, are kind of designed for a specific purpose. And so it's more like you don't really want to swap the springs because they're the way that HaaTa intended them to be used.
And as we all know, HaaTa knows. Trust the HaaTa.
Yeah, so I feel like if you just take like a Halo True or something and you swap the spring, it's going to be not as good of an experience as maybe, taking your favorite MX Brown switch or whatever and putting a different spring in it. It's going to be a wildly different feel. So I would definitely try the switches stock before anything else.
Definitely.
Even if you think they're too heavy for you, because I'll address that in a second too. Anyways, my second question was, I know the Halo True is Topra inspired, but what was the thought process behind the Halo Clear? And he gave me a really long answer here, but to paraphrase, he said, basically the MX Clear switches are really popular, but there are no RGB versions of it, which makes sense. And obviously the decay type is really notable for the RGB features, so you really need that housing for it. He said originally they were just going to actually remake the MX Clear with an RGB housing, but he said if we're getting tooling made, why not make something better? So hence the Halo Clear was born. Yep.
Awesome.
So HaaTa will be putting out a pretty lengthy article, like he's known to, on why he hates cherry switches and why he doesn't hate Topra and buckling spring. And that's going to be kind of a coinciding thing with the thought process behind the two new switches. So
I'm really excited.
Yeah.
I'm really hyped for these now.
Yeah. I did ask a couple more questions, so I'm gonna try to jet through these a little bit. The third thing I asked him was, what made you decide to go with two heavy tactile switches? And he basically says, friction tactility is tricky with MX style switches. You are limited by the strength of your spring. You put too weak a spring in the MX Clear Resilio, and it will stick on the way back up. Like you were saying, Ergo Clears had that problem a lot. If you go way too light, then it just doesn't return. So that was kind of the thought process behind that. He said the Halo Clear was actually the first thing he discovered, and the Halo True came later when he was messing around with spring weights. So there's that. That's basically all I said about that. The fourth thing I asked him was, this was actually something I was really interested in. I said, so does this mean that the Halo True is not meant to be bottomed out, referencing the really heavy spring? And he said, that is correct. You are not supposed to bottom out the Halo True, which is really interesting because I think most people probably do bottom out almost every switch they use. And so this is why I'm really interested to see people that don't like heavy switches use the Halo True. Because the actuation is only about 50 grams, which isn't terribly heavy. It gets really heavy after that. So, you're looking at a really pillowy experience on these Halo Trues. Very, very, very interested in that.
I don't know what happened, Brian, but your audio changed very significantly. Got very quiet. It got a lot quieter, as if like someone twisted the cord. I'd describe it.
Do I sound fine now?
I mean, you sound fine. You're just quieter than you were 30 seconds ago.
Maybe if I move my mic
Yeah,
closer.
perfect. There you go. I don't know what you changed, but you sound like you used to at the beginning.
All I did was move it closer just now. Oh well. Anything, really quick. The last thing I asked him was, being inspired by Topra, will the True have an immediate bump at the top and feel as if it continues through most of the press, or is that not possible for an MX switch design? And he basically says it's not possible to be Topra without actually being Topra, which makes sense. He says the first 2 millimeters are going to be really close. Actuation is not at the peak of tactility, but afterwards, in the momentum, your fingers will push you into actuation. So obviously, it's not going to be exactly the same experience as Topra, like a lot of people might be hoping for, but it should be a fairly similar experience, which I'm really looking forward to. So
Yeah,
that's mostly what I asked him. So
Brian,
really good information there.
Brian, you got me hyped, man. You got me hyped.
I am
You got me so hyped.
the most hyped I've ever been in the community, I think,
I'm
for something to come out.
So hyped,
And when we have to wait 5 years for
Right?
this to happen, too.
Probably longer. Goodness.
Feels awful, man. Anyways, Fendent, how do you feel about the Halo switches? Have you seen a lot about these? Are you hyped for them?
I have not read anything about them, in fact, but they sound pretty interesting. I have pretty, weak fingers, I guess. So I really like Topra, and I don't know, I have kind of some Frankenstein switches on this board right here, but my control on caps lock I actually put down negator on clears because it just, after a while, my hands start to hurt. So I didn't use heavier switches for a long time, but I just put some 78 gram Zelios on, and I'm actually kind of liking the idea of not bottoming out on stuff, just that nice kind of pillowy into it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm into that. So I'd be pretty interested. I like the kind of the the idea of not designing something just for, okay, here's a weight range, but rather saying, this is how it's going to be used, and this is kind of the experience that you're going to get out of it. So
Yeah, that part that's awesome. Oof.
Yep. Really, really excited for this.
Yeah.
I was worried about the 100
Link to
gram.
that anywhere?
Kind of. So you can actually find all that information. Why am I echoing through someone? Okay, it stopped. This, if you go to Massdrop and you check out the K-type,
Oh, okay.
all of the information is there. In that description, you'll find the Kailh switches. You'll find the force graphs and a little bit of info.
There's links to the spec sheets as well, which is cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Really cool stuff.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of, like, for heavy switches, like, for when I get my, my XT40, my 40% ortholinear, on those, I'm probably going to either put cherry tactile grays, or I'm going to be putting mod super heavies in them. Haven't decided yet, but it's definitely...
Also, I gotta say, like, looking at them, I really like the white case, kind of like the pandas, so it's a nice design decision. Yeah.
I haven't noticed a switch can look so nice until I got the Panda switch, despite the Panda switch's flaws in its use. Like the Panda switch with this white / beige
really good.
case looks so beautiful.
Yeah,
it's
that
really weird.
The hole tights actually on them from the factory. It just has a nice unique look to it, though chair-like. So I like that there's people are putting into the aesthetics of more than just the top side. So.
Yeah,
cool.
Sure. The Halo switches should be available separately too at some point. So as of right now, you can only get them by buying the K-type, which ships in November. Pretty far away, but yeah, I imagine after that we will see a launch of the switches on Massdrop. Then we'll probably have to wait a while for that too.
So
it'll be a while, but definitely something to be hyped for if you're into new switches.
Yeah, I mostly use Pok3r, so...
Yeah.
That's
all three of us. We're all very familiar. We all use Pok3r.
I'm using Pok3r right now. So.
I'm using Pok3r right now as well. Vector, all of us are using Pok3r right now.
Of all days that I would leave my PT at work, it would be today. Breaking out every single day.
I'm breaking the mold a little bit, and I'm using a stock 660C. But
Gosh,
I also
Brian, you unmodded pleb.
I know, right? What's funny is I have a real force right here with BKE domes in it too. So I got the new fad here, but it's so tactile it might be too much for me, which is really odd.
Too tactile?
Have you used the BKE domes yet?
No, I have not.
Oh man, it's quite a wild ride. I thought 55 gram Pok3r was tactile. Yeah, it's by far the most tactile board I've ever used. Way more so than Pok3r 55 gram or 45 gram, and probably more than SKCM Browns even. It's just, it's all snap. The press is just you're not pressing at all, or it's all the way down. There's no in between. It's just all one big bubble.
Bop. Let's see what's up next on the news. Something not like Halo switches is the Prime keyboard teased by HaaTa of primekeyboards.com. It's basically a 60-ish% with a numpad. I can't say a 60% with a numpad because it's not. The base part isn't even at 60%, so it's closer to a 50%, honestly, with a numpad. It's quite odd with the layout, but at least a stagger is normal. But the numbers are ortholinear, which will throw a lot of people off. You got a split space. You got the numpad technically can't be a full numpad because you don't have your modifiers your plus, minus, enter. Well, I guess you have an enter there.
Is it a numpad always ortholinear though?
No, I'm not going to
number
row. Number row being ortholinear on top of the QWER.
Okay.
Yeah, that part.
Gotcha. Got it.
It's offset like that circly keycap keyboard. I forgot.
Yeah, it's
gonna stable keyboard.
He's working on a full kit, so we'll have a fully assembled PCB and aluminum case and plates. So this is just the kind of teaser / interest check for it, but he does have the PCBs just about done. Looking at
the case is really intense.
Yeah, the case is intense. It's pretty heavy too.
Yeah, it's all stainless steel. It's like a layered, kind of like an acrylic Jollymon case, but it's stainless steel.
All steel. I think he
And
said
it's
it
high
was
profile.
like 4. I think on his website he says like 4 pounds. Case.
That's pretty hefty for a keyboard case.
I do like how every for the plate it's all switch top removable. That's nice. Very enthusiast thinking.
Yeah, I'm not sold on the layout though.
I'm not sold on layout either. No, I could not do this layout.
Which is weird. I'm actually a really big advocate for left-handed numpads because I am left-handed. So, and also for another reason, because when you're gaming, I like my hands to be closer together. So when you have the numpad on the left instead of the right, you don't get that interference with your mouse. So I'm really big advocate on that.
Yeah, if you've got a number pad, I mean, and I'm a developer, and like I said, I put my control on caps lock, and just like so my hand mostly sits on the left side over there anyway. So that just seems like if I'm gonna have that, that's
for me. Like if I was gonna have a left-hand numpad, I would want like an actual full proper numpad, not this implementation where it's just numbers and three options above it.
I could see it being useful as just like a macro pad though. But
yeah, as a macro pad, that'd be great. But I mean, I like the case, I like the idea. I just don't like. I can't do the layout.
Like it's so heavy. Like, does it come with a new desk to like also?
Yeah, it breaks your desk when you.
Actually, I'm not gonna lie. I was actually considering building a desk keyboard where like the case would be like I would just drill into a desk and like build the plate of the keyboard into my desk, and then just mount switches, hand wire underneath it, and it'd be a desk keyboard mounted onto my desk.
That was sort of an idea I had for a friend of mine who's super into a Kerbal Space Program. She really wanted just like a console essentially. So I was like, we'll just like
my idea came from like a lot of people make their own desk PCs. You know, have their PC built or integrated with their desk. So I was thinking, if you have a desk PC, why not have a desk keyboard to go with it? But it doesn't really. I don't have the time for that.
Prime KB has a website, and HaaTa is here from.
Oh.
Hello, whole tank. Yes, that is his website. You guys should check it out. He's also, I think, he's working on things. I know.
As much as this layout isn't for me, after looking at it for a while, it looks like the space he used, he did a really efficient job.
Oh, definitely. So it looks like I was close. I called it a 50% with a numpad, but he said it's a 45% with a numpad and numrow.
I hate describing new keyboard layouts because there's so many ways to do it, and there's like no universal standard. The percentage system is like broken as hell.
Well, I think it came from a very like I don't know.
It's a very loose term.
Yeah, well,
obviously
it was very useful before all the customs. Yeah.
Yeah, because the first percentage was just 60%, and it was easy because it was 60% of the amount of keys of a full 104 key keyboard. And then now we have like a billion different percents because new layouts keep getting added and people like you referencing them as percentages for whatever reason.
Yeah, we're seeing people reference TKLs as percentages and stop.
That's a 66%. No, it's a 68%. It's a 65%. Oh my
it's
god.
got one little key over here, so it's definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, we're not gonna get into that. That's a topic.
While we not get into that, let's go over to the next topic, which has a percent in its title, which is a curved split 50% keyboard. These are files made by user snevok. I just brought this up in the news just because he offered the files for this keyboard for free online. The Dropbox link and
open source
Kailh layout. So if you want to use this, modify it, produce it yourself. It's open for people to use. It's curved, so nice curve for ergonomics. It's split, so it's kind of pretty thought out. It is 50%, which is a bit odd.
I've never seen a 50%.
Basically, take out the numrow of your 60%. That's what it is.
Isn't that basically what a 40% is?
Isn't that
40%? Some 40% are narrower though, because some 40% take out one of the keys in your home row.
Okay. This is why percentages are silly.
Yeah, exactly. That's why
regardless, it's a very neat looking.
It is neat. I just love it. It's open. He put it out there. If it's something that you want to work on, or even want to just learn designing keyboards, at least you have something to reference off of, in a way. So Just want to throw it out there.
Very cool.
Check it out if you're interested in any kind of keyboard design or anything like that. Or maybe you want to make this keyboard yourself. Moving on is an interest check for the Hadron V2. Some of you guys might have seen the Hadron V1 on Reddit, which this user Ishtab created. It's basically a ortholinear Cherry ML keyboard. And now for V2, he wants to make it public. The first run was something he made just for him. Kind of like you, Fendent, you like making your own things once you get really into a hobby. And he's doing the same thing for his keyboard. And this is round 2, open to the public now. It uses Cherry ML switches, full RGB underglow, USB Type-C. He uses percentages, annoyingly, 72%.
It hurts.
So a lot of people don't know that much about Cherry ML switches, and the truth is, for most people in the community, they don't feel that great. But they do have one distinct advantage, is if you look through the pictures, you can see how narrow this keyboard is for a mechanical keyboard.
It's a very low profile.
Very low profile switch.
About that.
ML. Is that a 4100? Or no, it's...
Oh yeah, I've seen those.
I feel like typing on a wet newspaper.
I've heard various things from wet newspaper to like.
I actually don't mind it that much. Having worked in server rooms and stuff like that, the options it's quite nice. I actually don't dislike it that much. Like, I mean, obviously compared to MX and stuff like that, but for a short throw switch, it's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I had a 4100 for a while. I think I paid like $10 or $15 for it just to try it because I had never tried the ML switches before, and I gave that away pretty fast.
I wouldn't use it for like a daily driver or anything like that by any means, but I mean, I actually have I have a friend who he is building his own ML board, like just a wood board that he is carving himself and stuff like that he's doing with ML switches. Actually, I think I'm going to be sending that over to him to harvest some switches.
It's funny, for me, the first ML keyboard I tried out, actually funny enough, was Kerplop's keyboard. You guys probably might not know Kerplop. He's a user on Geek Hack. He's not very, very active. He's a very, very nice man. I met him in real life a few times. He goes to my meetups. His ML board he created was his own split keyboard, machined out of one big piece of wood. Those split Cherry ML switches with a giant trackball in the middle, and it had thumb buttons. He hand-wired all of it himself. It felt fine when I typed on it, but part of me thinks like it's kind of a premium experience because this is a really nice keyboard. The switches are mounted on a stainless steel plate that's inside this big wood case he cut himself and finished himself, and oh man.
I think I'm more interested to see the low-profile Kailh switches.
Ooh, yeah.
If those are ever going to be available on a consumer level, or if those will ever just be in like laptops or something.
I hope. I hope they reach consumer level, at least for us to try it. At least for them to possibly succeed or fail.
Yeah.
I mean, has anybody tried them or anything like that? No.
Not that we know of.
Yeah, I think it's still a really new thing. I think.
I've only heard and seen news at different tech conferences, tech events, tech shows.
If I had to guess, I would say we're not going to be able to buy them, which is kind of sad. But
yes.
That's probably the reality of it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, somebody's going to buy 20 laptops, on Desk Authority and put them into a board. So
I can see that.
Yeah. Anyways, this is an interest check, and he does have an interest check survey for it. It does look really nice. He did a pretty good job. I like this LED screen up in the top right.
Yeah, the LED screen.
What layer you're on and stuff.
That's nice.
That's pretty neat.
And I'm sure you can program that to do whatever you want with it.
Yeah, he did a really good job on this project. I'm curious. So, if this becomes a group buy, does he supply the ML switches?
Let's see what the buy says.
I tried to read through that a little bit, but I actually didn't see that.
Well, I mean, they're generally available, aren't they? To purchase.
Can you just buy a Cherry ML board?
Well, I mean, assumedly you could source them from Cherry, right? Just like the switches themselves, or?
If you really, maybe.
No, Cherry doesn't let individuals like us source, and even
if you bought 250,000 of them, maybe.
Yeah. Because Cherry doesn't really play nice when it comes to like can we order and like MOQ stuff.
Yeah, they don't really care about the enthusiast community. They have much bigger.
Because of them, Cherry has been doing switches for 50 years, okay? And this new community has spawned up big in the last 3 years, right? What's 3 years compared to their 50 years of overseeing switches and the market?
I suppose I was thinking more from a vendor who purchases.
Oh, that's true, yeah. But I don't know, we'll see. Hopefully this group I can provide switches for people, because it might be difficult otherwise. Yeah.
He does say he has 25 units being built / on order. So that kind of that specific number makes me think that he might have a pile of these ML boards he's using switches out of.
Assuming that he doesn't mean built as an SMD soldered. Because some people say these are built PCBs, and that just means your microcontroller is pre-soldered and your resistors are pre-soldered. But
yeah,
we'll see.
Either way, it's a pretty neat thing.
Great project.
One of the cooler things I've seen in a while.
Cool, deep project, yeah. Speaking of projects, I know a lot of people really wanted this keyboard when it was on Taobao. It is
which has the best name ever.
Best name ever. It's the Welfare 96, also known as now the GSX 96AC.
No. They changed it back.
Changed
Look at the first thing in the post.
Cool, but yeah, it's a Welfare 96. All enough.
He's back at Welfare.
He changed it back to Welfare.
It's closed. All 50 orders sold out. I mean, like I said, people love this 96 key layout for I don't know why. I hate that layout. Hate it, but people love it. It was cheap, $90 and then $20 shipping, $110.
So $110 gets you the PCB, which is PS2 AVRGB. It gets you the case, the plate, some feet, and the mounting hardware.
Yeah, it is.
So
it is,
pretty good. It's a frosted case.
Yeah,
too.
frosted acrylic, low-ish profile case.
Lowish, yeah.
Doesn't go up all the way where I'd say it high, but it's not like. No, it's a low profile case. Not high-ish.
Yeah. One thing that's kind of interesting is the plate that they chose to go with does not support switch top removal, which I feel like is pretty rare these days to not support that.
For a lot of these, the original Welfare 96 didn't either, though. So that's probably the reason why.
Yep, it's very possible. Either way, if you want to get a cheap 96 keyboard, $110 shipped.
Can't now. It's sold out. All 50 units sold because they're only doing buy for 50 units.
Limited to 50. Interesting,
right?
I wonder why. This clearly would have sold more units.
Probably because they only had 50 on hand.
Okay.
But if
you want to get one, then screw you. Apparently.
So the next topic I'm really excited about. I think it will definitely help Pok3r and Core users a lot. Vortex has teased on their Facebook that they're working on a configurator so you can program with a GUI either your Pok3r or your Vortex Core, similar to how you could use AVR PS2 to do simple drag and drop programming. Nothing too fancy, but that kind of functionality on a Core or a Pok3r kind of put those boards much higher now than any of their competitors who don't have any of these options at all.
Yeah.
So is it going to be still limited by some of the the stuff that you can do OTG right now, like on Pok3r, like not being able to rebind stuff like caps lock and
you will be able to do all that stuff. Like for example, you can put your caps lock wherever you want. You can have more than your layers. It looks like.
So will this make
So that's what it looks like.
Fully programmable.
That's what it looks like based off of these pictures that I see.
Assuming it makes these keyboards fully programmable, that definitely makes a pretty big deal because people like us who are always just using custom boards for the most part, we kind of take for granted the fact that a lot of people that are just buying these off-the-shelf boards can't reprogram them, and especially something for like the 40% of the Vortex Core. That's totally unacceptable. You can't have a 40% that's not programmable. That's just not how it works. 60% you can kind of bullshit your way through it, but you still should be having that programmability.
Yeah.
So for when this releases, if people ask me oh, I'm a new user and I want a 60% keyboard, it's kind of hard not to just recommend now the Pok3r now that has programmability for the person. Man, that'd be awesome.
I wonder if that will be like kind of retroactive in the fact that will that work with like the Pok3r and the Pok3r also?
I think it's based on the new firmware, so I don't think those older ones use the same firmware, or if they're even able to be upgraded to that new firmware. If they are, then they should be able to, no problem.
I guess because I've seen threads somewhere where people have gone into and said, well, these are these I don't know, these aren't read-only chips. They can. You could make your own firmware for it if you really, really, got into it. But so I mean, maybe with older ones. So.
Yeah, and that'd be pretty cool. There's still a lot of Pok3r users out there.
Mm-hmm. Now let's go.
Well, you got the new Pok3r. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the
That's
new
true,
USB-C. Yeah, USB-C. Yeah.
Very cool. Looks good too. Back to that high-profile case design. Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of, I don't know, keyboards.
Interest check. We spoke a little bit earlier about our great friend in Canada, Dave at mechkeys.ca. He's running a new interest check now for GMK Gulf, which is a legendary heritage in the racing world. If you're unsure, it is designed by Team Livery, or by not Team Livery, Team Gulf. I don't know why I said Livery. No, because I was reading that word in his post. But yes, inspired by Team Gulf. It's a bit much in the colors, in my opinion.
It's too early to tell. This render isn't good enough.
But it's not a great render. If you just have the reference pick on his comment, where he has the two Gulf Porsche race cars, so that's the colors he's aiming for.
Yeah, I really like that too, but it's way too early to see. Why is F1 through? Okay, wait.
I don't know,
colors
man.
is he using?
1, 2, 3,
might be too many colors.
4, 5 colors.
Yeah.
I don't know. I need to see a better render. It's too early to tell.
I think the better render. Yeah, I just think
I need a thesis camper render or a GMK render before I can start to form much of an opinion. Just seeing colors on Kailh just doesn't. It's not enough for me.
Well, slightly better than Kailh at least with his render with this one.
Yeah, but still.
But yeah, it's not.
It's
not
going to be.
unfortunately.
It's not going to be true to the finished product, and I need something that's closer to that.
But if you like, racing, you like Gulf, or at least like orange or blue, maybe stop by the thread and drop Dave some of your input. I always tell everyone, if you see an interest check and it interests you in at least the slightest, throw in a comment, throw in interest. Let the creator know what you might like, because it might be what some other people like, and that might make the set better overall. Okay.
Yep.
Moving on. This was a pretty cool announcement. The Banana Split 60% will be launching on... Banana Split 60, I'm sorry, will be launching June 1st on the Van keyboards. He's posted link, yep. Yeah. It's going to be around... Basically, it'll be around $100. It's a 60% that has a split spacebar. It can support arrow keys in the lower right corner as well.
Is it from the same people who brought us Cucumber keyboard?
It's
Cucumber?
I don't know who that is. But...
The green, I forgot. The small circuit
the gherkin?
Yeah.
No.
Not
the same.
That would have been so funny.
I think pickles are a bit different than banana splits.
Yeah.
This is pretty cool to have
Apples and
this
oranges.
kind of functionality in a 60%. It's a lot of options. That's
Yeah,
good.
the bare bones kit has the PCB, and they will include genuine cherry stabs, which is
cool.
They'll also have a lesser kit that just has the PCB. If you don't want the steel plate or the stabs. So it looks like what's up?
Is it pretty much like Philco Manual layout here?
If you want it to be, you could. It has lots of options. It looks like.
Yeah, so this is targeted towards the people that want that split spacebar on their 60%. They want arrow keys. Remember I said a few episodes back, arrow keys on 60% are going to be the new thing?
Hate it.
Guess what? We're up to like 4 boards now that have them.
I'm I mean, I'm on this one. I like the fact that they didn't cut the stagger, because normally they make the left shift shorter to accommodate the arrow keys, but for this one instead they took out your question mark / key, which I disagree with also, because I want all my keys, but I also don't want to change the stagger. That's why for me, a 60% should never have arrow keys if you want it to be properly spaced.
Well, that's true, but we're also not the target consumer for this product.
It's especially ironic because they put on a Cyrillic key set in there, and in Russian you actually have a comma on that key, so it's super annoying to not have a comma readily available.
That's pretty ironic.
Yeah.
Sorry, which? Okay, that one. The second pick. Yeah.
But actually, what I find interesting is that, as far as I remember, the Kailh was actually the keyboard that pretty much started the whole 60%. I think
you're definitely right. Yeah.
And now we're making it like a circle back to.
To be fair, to the right of the up arrow where he has that print screen key, I would you could just put a question mark there.
Yeah.
It would. I mean, obviously, it's not normal, but it's.
Yeah, but
I imagine more people would do that than. Probably. In fact, I bet that is a question mark. He just has that there for aesthetic purposes.
Probably. But yeah, like for Pok3r, you're right. The Manila definitely did start it. The only thing about the Manila why I didn't catch on is the same reason I hate it. They had to make the left shift shorter, and they had to change the stagger. And when you change the stagger, people who type can't type well on a keyboard that changes.
They had a really huge control keycap that was not available in any set. It was the size of caps lock, and it was a row 1.
They also had an irregular spacebar
really
as well.
Hard to... Yeah,
that keyboard was full of problems. But if you're looking for a keyboard filled with less problems than the Manila, and that's a 60% with arrow keys, this would probably wouldn't be your best bet, since the kit isn't too much. I mean, the $100 doesn't include a case. It's just PCB and plate stabs.
And if you remember that, what was it, the XD60 on Massdrop? That was like $100. That came with that nice CNC block of aluminum case. Yeah, that was a really good value, and this seems like, in comparison, a lot less value.
Much harder to swallow. Yeah.
Yeah. But you do get that split spacebar, and a lot of people have been into that lately. So.
Yes, that split spacebar.
Always depends on what you're looking for.
Let's see. Moving on, Originative Co. actually has some news of this week.
Oh, cool! I haven't seen this yet.
Yeah, they are doing a meetup in LA, July 13th, from 4 to 6 p.m. It's gonna be a late meetup because they're having it at a rooftop in LA. So it's very gonna be a nice view. There's gonna be tacos and beers and boba probably. It's gonna be RSVP to 10 because spacing is limited since they're Airbnb-ing the place.
Rama will be there.
Norbauer will be there. And
Living Speed Bump will be there.
Living Speed Bump will be there, and probably a lot of
very
big names,
very
I'm
cool.
sure.
I wish I could go to this. That's really neat.
Yeah, so if you're in LA area, you should maybe consider RSVPing, and hopefully you get a spot in. I don't know how much space they'll have.
This will be a pretty exclusive meetup.
Probably. So
the site looks amazing though. That rooftop looks so nice.
Yeah. Speaking of Originative, I have actually more news about them. It is in the doc. It's right after. They have DSA Penumbra and Hyperfuse back on their shop now for $200 each one, and they'll be shipping June 6th or 7th, I believe. Yeah. Right? That's.
Wait, what is it? Oh, a DSA Penumbra.
DSA. Yes.
And DSA Hyperfuse.
Shipping 6/9/17, limit 1 per person. They're $200 each.
Wait, I'm not seeing the DSA Hyperfuse.
It's between Classic Black and JT Angel. If you look at the key sets page. But yes, they have both.
The number is on the bottom.
But yes, they have both DSA Hyperfuse and Penumbra on their shop. You can pre-order now, and it'll be shipping to you in 2 to 3 weeks.
That's pretty good. See, he did the waiting for us.
Yeah,
so now we don't have to.
He doesn't tell anyone when he's doing his things unless you work for him, and He doesn't. He tells Massdrop to don't put it on their public queue, so no one knows that. So that's the thing. People don't realize that Massdrop has. You can look at Massdrop's queue on their site, but most of the time, Signature Plastics. Yeah, Signature Plastics. Anyone who orders from Signature Plastics, you can ask them, don't put my thing on the queue, and that's what Originative did for all the things they order. And a lot of other vendors actually are doing that as well. It's really popular now with a few Chinese vendors to not have Massdrop list their thing. I know JT Frontier is probably going to start going down that route, but that's our Originative news. If you're in LA area, check out that meetup if you want to be nice, fancy, smancy on a rooftop with other keyboard people, or if you're interested in DSA, Hyperfuse, or Penumbra.
I also think DSA Hyperfuse is the best of the 3 Hyperfuses, in my opinion, aesthetically.
Yeah. It looks nice.
Aesthetically,
$200 though. That's $200 for the full kit. Seems
steep. It is
a little steep.
But I mean, it's gonna sell out. So people as we know in this community, people like swallowing these things.
Yeah. I also saw that color samples came in for Keyboard & Co.
Finally,
so.
I mean.
Oh wow, that's been a while. Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't even started production because they're still doing keyboard color sampling. And they started running in August. It's going to be August in how many more months now?
It's really interesting that these DSA sets are $200 and the SA sets for $250, but a full GMK set is still like
cheaper,
$120 these days. Like, what happened? I thought GMK used to be like the expensive option, and now it's like the cheapest of the.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because
it's weird how that's
because back in our day,
you used to be able to get a full DSA set for
back in our day, like Signature Plastics used to make working men's key sets, while GMK made sets for the bourgeoisie, right? That's the image, but now it's like the reverse, which is hilarious.
But with Signature Plastics, it's that you've got all these small kits, and everything was broken up into kits, but then you get these full sets, so it's the pricing of all those kits put together for these larger sets. And,
which is, it doesn't change how expensive it is for the end user, though. If someone wants to get DSA Hyperfuse right now, you pay $200. You can't just get the kits that you want. You have to pay $200. And I'd imagine that the coverage on this set for $200 is probably roughly the same as a $120 GMK set.
Yeah, I'd argue it'd be the same or worse because GMK is pretty. Yeah. When people order from GMK, they do pretty well with it.
Yeah. Anyways,
moving on. Another nice vendor friend of ours, LeandreN over at Mechanisk, has restocked his 60% brass plates, including an HHKB plate if you don't want to use those annoying corner keys, or just a normal standard ANSI or ISO plate. Or you can get the universal plate, but in my opinion, you should just get either the ISO or ANSI rather than universal.
He takes such good pictures, man. These plates, the pictures are really selling me on these plates too.
It's the lighting, man. It's the lighting.
It really is.
If you're not following on Instagram, you really should be.
I do. Trust me.
Yeah.
I'm so pumped for Fiel that I'm just like.
Oh yeah.
I should probably follow him.
The video of the weight getting put in.
I must have watched that at least 10 times.
Mm-hmm.
So interestingly enough, the only plates he sold out of the ANSI and the universal plates, but he still has the ISO and HHKB plates in stock. I guess that makes sense.
I ordered a brass plate with my Fiel. Does that mean I get to pick which one I want?
No, it's the universal. For the Fiel was the universal. It's
automatically universal?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, we chose. I wonder if we can just ask him to change out for.
I know. I think I'm about to ask him.
Shoot him a message.
I think I want to do it.
Well, if you ask him, just if he tells yes, let me know and I'll ask him as well. Because I'd rather change mine to be a pro HHKB.
I do like the rigidity of a non-universal plate.
Mm-hmm.
They usually feel a bit more stable, but that's another topic. Anyways, speaking of plates, what else we got, Huey?
We have the Universal 60% carbon fiber plate interest check. This is done by GooseKeyboards. I don't think they have a website yet. I don't know if they do have a website, but it's done by GooseKeyboards. They're doing an interest check for universal carbon fiber plates, $40 per plate plus shipping. If you're in CONUS, your shipping shouldn't be higher than $7 US.
So, Okay, what is special about this plate other than it being carbon fiber?
That's it. That's the selling point. So one of the comments actually is, what's the difference between this and the $50 delivered one on 1UP keyboards? One of the members, I guess T Moody Puss, is one of the members of GooseKB, says their plates have a higher tolerance, and they found their carbon fiber to be slightly more rigid. I mean, we can't confirm this until other people start getting these plates in hand, but that's what they're claiming is the advantage versus the $50 one you can buy off of 1UP keyboards.
Okay.
Yeah, they're also saying that, I guess that possible Alps support if...
Oh, yes, and they're thinking about doing an Alps version, which I think the Alps version will be awesome if they do that.
True. On a related side note, though, you can head over to Centrac and get a carbon fiber plate that does support Alps or MX for $55. So there's that.
Whatever happened to their brass plate? I remember GooseKBs, they were working on a brass plate we covered like...
They were, yeah.
2 months ago?
I don't know. It's a good question.
So hopefully this doesn't disappear like that brass plate that we never heard about since.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a big thing on the news for a lot of people who aren't Brian Becktor and I. Signature Classics has announced that they're doing another grab bag sale on June 6th. If you don't know about the grab bag sales, it's basically they sell you a pound of keycaps, random keycaps, usually defective ones, for $55 without shipping, by the way. And they charge you an arm and a leg on shipping, okay?
$15 shipping in the U.S.
In the U.S., $15 shipping
in the U.S.
for a bag of keycaps that they ship in a bubble mailer, I'm pretty sure.
I don't understand how the shipping is that much.
And then you get to see a bunch of great pictures that come out.
Yeah, of unicorns. So the worst part is, like, even though we're complaining so much about this, the last sale they had for 300 bags sold out in 80 seconds.
I put one in my cart and then decided against it, and I was like, you know what? I'm not participating in this.
You know, the prices, they keep going up.
Yeah, when
they first did grab bags, it was like, what, $30 for a grab bag?
I ordered my first buy. I was, and it's limited one per person now. When I bought grab bags, I got two, $30 each, $60 total.
Yeah, so these have got up like $20, $25 a piece for the bag.
There better be more SA sets than before.
For the same stuff, yeah. So people are loving it. SA's killing it with these grab bags. I can't believe people are paying like $65, $70 shipped for a bag of caps that are, a lot of them are defective, mind you.
A lot.
And
they are literally defective.
Defective Wattsters. Can't wait to see those.
I mean, there's a reason they would just throw these away otherwise.
There's a reason we all affectionately call them crap bags.
Yeah.
Let's take the scrap and let's just make money off people.
But then you can sell your, like, you know, go on and sell like individual little pieces to sets that people don't have for $15-$20 for a key.
That's always the worst. Like, you go on Mech Market after these ship and people are just like, here's kind of a SA set, $100.
Yeah, here $100.
Here's a Danger Zone novelty for $20.
Yep. Everyone is trying to make a buck.
Well, on that bummer of a news topic, grab bags being a bummer of a news topic, we're going to start our Q&A soon, so everyone in chat, feel free to start launching questions at us, and while you guys catch up with the delay with the buffer, and we read the questions eventually, Fendent, this is the penultimate top class question. Do you prefer waffles or pancakes?
Depends on where I am. If I'm at a hotel, waffles, because I lived in a hotel for a while, and they had a nice waffle bar. But otherwise, pancakes, general purpose. Not a hotel pancakes.
Yeah.
Oh,
pancakes.
Nice. Okay.
Especially homemade pancakes. Those are just...
and they're easy to make. I make them for my daughter, and yeah, it's like super easy.
It's kind of interesting. I actually asked the guy who stopped the WannaCry malware on Reddit. He had a name. I asked him waffles or pancakes, and he actually answered. And he said pancakes.
Yes, pancakes. I'm happy you're here, Fendent, because I think you're the first one to say pancakes in like the last month of guests.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's been a pretty big waffle streak recently.
We're back
Well,
on a pancake streak.
Well, also with waffles, it's like you have about like 1 or 2 waffles, like 2 waffles if you're really pushing it. But like with pancakes, you just keep eating them. You can just keep eating them.
Let's start with these questions. Diluted has a question. What is your favorite sculpt by another artisan?
It's tough. I'd probably say Hunger Key by Benj. Honestly, a bunch of the stuff he's been putting out lately has been really.
Did you get in on this 4x4 sale?
Oh yeah, I got a couple pieces.
Which colorways did you go for?
I think I put in 2 Nebula on Wildcard, so
Nice.
I did Nebula in one of the other ones, I think, but yeah, both Wildcard. So I'm really excited about the Earl-esque. It's like, yeah, great. But I think, there's people who've been doing a lot of really good stuff, but Hunger Key just kind of stays up there.
Cursor Tien, what are the characteristics of a board with a brass plate as compared to aluminum or steel? Brian, I think this is one for you.
I don't know yet. I haven't used a brass plate before.
I don't think any of us have, so I mean.
Yep, this will be new. This will be new for me. My Fiel and my M65 will both feature brass plate. So
same, and those would be my first ventures into brass. Well, what do I know about the brass?
What is the name of that sneaky mustache guys that Bench is making?
That's Earl-esque.
Is this a new one?
Yeah, that's Earl-esque. It was an older. It was like one of his first designs for, and then so he's remaking that. And it was actually done out of a base of I assume like a cherry profile cap. And so it's going to be pretty much just dead on cherry profile. So I'm pretty excited about that. We talked before about kind of how I need something extra functional. So it's gonna be really good. The color on that is just incredibly clean. If you haven't been following his Instagram either.
Yeah. I'm surprised. It's just I'm wondering if the initial keycap was hand sculpted, because if it was, that's pretty impressive.
Oh, it was based on I mean, not to speak too much of his process or anything, but yeah, it is a cast of an actual keycap, and then out of sculpting material, and then turned into. So.
I'm gonna interrupt this Q&A very, very briefly here to say a couple things. First, I'm gonna post this Imgur album. This was the Mechmini 2 that we were talking about earlier. These are the other pictures I was telling you guys about. So, lots of different angles. You see that acrylic bottom. It looks very nice. Very, very clean lines. I'm really, really, really into this. So,
yeah,
check that out. And speaking of Mechmini and metkeys.ca, we have a giveaway.
We do.
What? Again?
Another giveaway that we didn't even know existed until just now.
Just now, who's?
Oh ho ho!
Well, Dave of metkeys.ca.
Oh, awesome! Thanks, Dave. You're awesome, man. Dave, you're
so we have a fully built Alu 68. It's a 65% with LeandreN Reds. So nice smooth linears there, and yeah, we're gonna be giving that away today. So make sure to thank Dave and say something in the chat.
Hold on, don't say anything in the chat yet, 'cause I don't have it open yet.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to say stuff in the chat now, you can. You won't be recorded yet.
Well, get ready to say more things in the chat.
Wait, is it Maple 68 or?
No, it's the Alu 68.
It's the aluminum 68 key that he has on his site.
Oh,
okay.
It's cool. It's a nice layered aluminum and acrylic kit.
If you want to join the raffle,
you don't
say something. You don't actually have to say. Yeah, of course. If you want to, guests are always welcome to join.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's funny because
the three of us cannot join, and everyone else is fine.
Yeah.
No, can I ask my dad to join? I don't know.
Sorry, Vector. It's the sacrifices you make being a host. One of the hosts.
I like 68 gig.
Worldwide tracked shipping.
Doesn't your dad call me like the funny fat white guy or something? Isn't that what you said?
Man, Brian, just imagine what he'd call you if I didn't have this your window shrunken. Eventually, when I get that fixed, he's gonna be like, Pok3r, what happened to your friend? They all got much fatter.
Didn't he say that he's just like the other Chinese guy or something? I really want to meet your dad next time. He sounds like an awesome person. Sounds like he's really fun.
Which is odd because rarely do people guess I'm Chinese. I'm not Chinese, but rarely do people put that as a guess that I am.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll be raffling soon.
Yeah, so still got a couple minutes left. Make sure you get there. And while you're waiting, check out metkeys.ca, of course. Awesome price. Awesome prices on lots of different stuff. And if I'm not mistaken, the prices on that site are in Canadian.
Yes.
Not
so
USD.
so they're lower
they're even
than you
cheaper
think.
than they look. So a lot of the stuff he has is actually like really affordable for
Extremely
USD.
affordable, yeah.
So a lot of cool stuff there. Make sure to check that out.
Okay, are we ready to raffle?
Give it another minute.
Okay. I'll be doing a raffle next week.
Let's touch on a question or two. I think we have a couple more while we wait for that. Here's a good question actually. Morning Coffee asks, where is the best place to talk QMK with other experts?
I wouldn't know because I don't know QMK at all. I mean, I'm sure that has to be like a Slack or Discord. I know Jack has been raising awareness for he's been raising money by selling those T-shirts so they can get code bounties, whatever those are, and hopefully give some goodies to some of the QA people who contribute to the QMK fork in GitHub. So I mean, there has to be some way for all of them to communicate. The best way, maybe if you contact Jack Humbert, you can contact him at either OKLB Ortholinear Keyboard subreddit or from his website. He can probably shoot in the right direction to get in contact with more.
Yeah, I think
experts.
subscribing to the OLKB subreddit would be a really good place to start because most of the people that subscribe to that tend to be fairly well educated in programming keyboards like the Planck, which is pretty much QMK. So that'd be a really good place to start. Maybe PM people like Robot Maxtron, or more like Jack, and you can go from there.
Yeah,
definitely.
Okay, I guess it's time, right?
Mm-hmm.
You all ready? I guess I have to do it in chat since it's all ahead.
Y'all ready for this?
Oh, ready for this? 3. Very slow.
How are we doing?
2.
Yeah.
1.
Winner is Raph.
Who is this? That's not my dad.
Your dad can't win everything, alright? Sheesh.
Congratulations, Raph,
Awesome.
on your new keyboard. I guess you should probably message Dave.
Yeah, message.
He's in
Yeah,
chat.
either message Dave FTW, who is also Evil Lies on Reddit, or you can message me and I can hook you guys up either way. My name is just Quakeums, it's right there on screen, so you can message me there.
Or you can like him on Facebook and send a message.
You can send me cute messages and stuff. little XOXOs.
So congratulations. For raffles, I'll be doing a raffle next week actually, because on Monday I'll be getting new stickers in. So we'll be raffling stickers again.
Yeah, awesome. A fully built 68 key aluminum sandwich.
That's really nice. Dave, thank you so much for continually to support Top Clack with your giveaways. It means a lot to us. Everyone who's watching, of course, feel free to check out mechkeys.ca. Great website, run by a great guy.
Yep.
Awesome, good stuff. So if anybody has any more last-minute questions, we'll touch that before we finish up here. So give you a second to get out of giveaway mode and into Q&A mode a little bit. Then we'll wrap the show up.
Others that we missed? I'm gonna scroll up and see if I do not.
Do you know? I don't think I've been paying pretty good attention to the chat.
No one's asked you.
Anyone has asked about my tally yet.
No one has asked.
Oh.
I was paying attention too. No one's asked.
Or is it because of the hitchhikers?
It is towel day. Yeah.
Where's your beer?
Actually, I I had a link prepared, a wiki link, just in case anyone felt the need to ask. But I'm really surprised nobody asked. Maybe everyone just knew, and I was just trying to be edgy.
We all knew.
Nobody says it. Where's your towels then? Come on. Anyways.
Right. I think Nicron asked, in the scroll back, just some stuff about for me. Next for Topra, more encapsulation, or do you plan to make mods, shift return? I'm probably not going to be doing mods at scale, nothing like Key Collective or anything like that. That's a very large production. Maybe at some point, or some smaller subset of those keys, but that's not in the current plans. I will almost certainly be doing more encapsulation, as I progress forward, we will have more of Topra and MX designs coming out like concurrently, instead of just kind of staggering how we did, or how I did. So.
Any plans on using the TMX stamps that Rama has developed for, say,
I'm not. So I'm not entirely sure, especially if I'm doing encapsulation. I'm probably not going to do that. I see the benefits for them, certainly, but with encapsulation, it just isn't going to. It wouldn't work out well like that, considering the stem is sort of an integral part of the thing that's being encapsulated. So, it can be done, but I probably won't. Also, one of my kind of issues with doing TMX is that, as I've said before, I like things that are really functional, especially with something that's encapsulated. With TMX, you're never going to get the right profile for between, Topra and MX. It's always going to be, you're either going to have to pick one or the other, or, just not the right. So, I want things to be consistent for different switch that you're using. I don't want to, make any concessions in terms of you're going to be using on your board, so, just to make it easier for myself.
That is definitely understandable. That's a really good reason, actually. That I didn't think about it, because I think a lot of people have asked when we've had other artisan makers on, will you use TMX stems possibly for your future? I think most of them have said for a lot of them it's hard for them to reproduce TMX, or a lot of them don't know how, since it's at the moment I think only a few people really know how to do it really properly. So that's why most of them have been staying away from it, as opposed to the profile, which I never thought about.
Yeah, I think one of the because with MX the thing that changes the height is the bottom of it, whereas with Topra it's the other way around. So you're never going to get something that's going to completely fit correctly. So I think you're going to be seeing upcoming with stuff like the Synth V2, which is going to be coming out here in the beginning of June, I think is what Brad said, over at Tech Keys. That is redesigned so that it's going to make the clearance on the inside of the cavity is going to clear over Topra switches. So TMX will be possible. They're not going to be shipping a TMX plug with it, but it's going to be capable in the future. So I think along with that, with Rama, and I think there's talk of a couple other people doing it. I think you're going to see more TMX coming out, or at least the bar to entry kind of being lowered for it. So you'll probably see more of that in the near future, especially with new artisans coming in, so they can set up their whole process around some of these tools. So
awesome, good stuff. All right, well, I think we've covered all the questions. Well, no, you already answered that. You just re-asked it.
Well, if there are any other questions, you guys can try asking them while we roll the outro, which we will roll right now. Well, everyone, thank you so much once again for joining us on another wonderful week of Top Clack. Thank you, Fendent, so much for joining us this week. It was really awesome learning a bit about you and hearing about your encapsulation projects and seeing what you have next. Thank you for your input on the news, by the way. It was always great to have guests involved with the news and the what's what and what's happening in the community and hearing everyone's opinion.
Thank you for inviting me. It's been a great time. So.
Once again, thank you to our sponsor of this episode, Dave at Mechkeys.ca, for having the giveaway. Once again, exactly.
Being like the nicest guy in the community.
Everyone will see everyone next week, Thursday at 6 p.m. We actually have our guests confirmed already for next week.
Let's
you want to hold off and be secret about it?
Nope. Pok3r is out everything, so that's fine.
So
it's not. Yes.
If you guys heard him, the cat's out of the bag. If you guys didn't, just pretend you didn't. Oh god, could you just imagine if we had like an actual a normal celebrity who just happened to like keyboard just rambling? I guess our closest would have been James, but
yeah.
But okay, well, everyone, thank you so much for joining. We'll see you everyone next week, and I'm just gonna ramble for about 5 more seconds. So when I cut the stream, it'll hopefully cut out at the right time, which is right.